Hey, scrappers and recyclers, it's Shark Scrapper. We did a pickup from one of our local clients. They run a gaming center for young folks. Really kind of a cool setup that they have. But I don't know if I'm at liberty to share the details of who they are, so I'm not going to. But we had a real nice pickup here. And we're going to go through this and see what kind of cool stuff we have here. We did end up with some cable right away, but a nice old oscilloscope there too. I'm really curious to see what's in all these boxes. Could be some really cool stuff, don't know. That did not come with that load. That was just laying here from something I had scrapped out, but it's got gold on the ends, so that'll go in with the gold that I'm thinking about getting the gold off myself. Okay, we have a real nice older kind of HDMI cable. I say older only because it's really heavy, which suggests that it might be older. I don't know. There's probably a manufacturer date here. That could Rocketfish RFG 1180 high-speed HDMI cable with Ethernet. So this, I think I'll see. I'll take a look and see if there's a market for these out there somewhere. That might be worth trying to sell. And yeah, you know, it's the worst that happens. If it doesn't sell in a few days or a week or whatever, then I just go ahead and cut the ends off, because those are going to be very clearly gold connector ends, and then put the cable in with probably number 2 insulated. Computer interconnect cable assembly form 2. Yeah, I was looking for a length on here, but it doesn't, so I'll have to measure it before I put it up on Marketplace. No problema. All right. What are you? Game. I get, so this came from a gaming business. So they run a gaming thing. They have young people can come play online games at this place. It's monitored by adults. It's safe. They form teams, and really cool kind of stuff that they do. So I get I can get games from them. Never really sure what's going to show up from these guys. Radio Shack. That says volts. Not exactly sure what that's all about, but it's got a whole bunch of little connectors in here. So yeah, I'm not sure what that is. And we have some RCA cables here. I've got a whole bunch of these, so these will probably I'll cut these off, throw these in with the gold-plated connector ends, and then the cable probably, I'm thinking number 2 insulated. RCA, what are you? Are you a disc player? Yeah. So this would have been for watching movies while you were in the car or away from someplace where you could watch your movies. Keep the kids active in the back seat so they don't bug mom and dad when they're on the long road trip somewhere. And we have Sungal. This probably is another DVD player. Yeah. So another type of DVD player. This probably got some good resale value to it, except that the power switch is screwed up. Rats, that's a bummer. So Philips oscilloscope, but the power switch is broken. So I don't know if there's going to be any vintage collectors or steampunk collectors that would be interested in a broken oscilloscope. I don't know. We'll take a look at Marketplace and see if there's any movement there. There's a big old ant down inside there. Hello, big old ant. Yeah, that's a shame that's broken, because otherwise, I mean, this would have easily sold well if the power switch was still there and functional. Bummer. And there's not going to be much of a market for these, so we'll probably just scrap that out. I'm thinking maybe we'll get a peripheral board out of it. Worst case, low grade, but hopefully a peripheral board and a low grade. You never know. I'm not hopeful. I'm not expecting much out of that bit. All right, well, that's problematic. I told these guys that I don't take lithium batteries. I'm hoping that they just didn't know. It's one thing if the lithium battery is in the laptop, but when they're loose like this, they are a real problem. I've got some laptops that I can look and see if these will fit, so that I can sell them at, in a laptop. But yeah, that's a bummer. Otherwise, we have a lot of power supplies here. I'm still trying to get my power supply buyer to respond to me. Normally, they will buy OEM type power supplies. So this one is Toshiba. I'll send them a picture of the back and the type of connector on it, and then he used to be pretty responsive and get me some answers. This is a replacement, so this one he won't buy. So that'll just get scrapped. Acer laptop power cord. Yeah, that's not an OEM, so that'll get scrapped. Here's another knockoff aftermarket model. HP, so it's branded, so that one might have some market value for these guys. This cable, we'll just cut the ends off and put them in with gold connector ends. And then that's gonna be number 3. Number 3 insulated. Sony, 7.5 volt. I don't know, I'll have to take a look and see. That's a wall plug, so I'm not exactly sure. Oh, I'm gonna put that over with the brandeds for now. Toshiba. Knockoff. Lenovo. That might have some value to the guy. D-Link, so that was for something that might be in another box. Oh, interesting. That's not a US plug. Not sure how that got stuck in here, but that's more of a European style. And let's see, Gateway, maybe go with the brandeds. Lenovo. Lenovo. I'll have to find the rest of that one. And high power. All right, aftermarket. Aftermarket. HP. This is a SATA cable, and it's gold inside of there, so we can clip that off and get put those in with gold connector ends, and that in with my number 3 insulated. All right, this is SATA. This is fiber optic. Yeah, that's fiber optic. There's no value there. So what I do when I get fiber optics like this is I leave the end on so that I can throw it in with the shred. It's just stuff it inside of a computer shell. Yeah, that's a fiber optic. And so let's get that out of the way. These fiber optics will move over here to go with the shred. And you are gold plated in there, so we'll cut you off. And we'll put you gold plated, number 3. Let's see, what are you? You used to be a keyboard for some sort of laptop thing, maybe, or maybe you could connect to one. I don't know how you connect it to anything. Oh, there's a plug there. Okay. Yeah, so some sort of, you could put maybe put a tablet up here and use the keyboard for a tablet, I'm thinking is what this looks like. Yeah. And here's a whole bunch of just connectors, oddball kind of power adapter connectors. So probably one of these things was some sort of universal power supply, and then it had an end that would plug in here, and then these were for the different types of PC jacks that you would power up. So I don't know, I might take a look through these and find probably one of these was some sort of universal kind of adapter for these. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe. I don't know if there's any value in doing that or if I'm wasting my time at this point. All right, so this stuff is all going back in the box. That's getting set aside in a separate bin. Alrighty, looks like some sort of power error disk. Sorcus Engineering Net 5501. So Ethernet 0123. So a witch of some sort. And here's another one. Edgewater Networks. This should be some decent boards in there. At a minimum, peripheral high grade. HDMI splitter. Oh, that might be useful if it appears to be in here. So, you know, the HDMI splitter is cool because you can put one signal in and then split it between 2 screens. So that could be useful. May hang on to that. And switching power adapter, aftermarket model. Here's another aftermarket power supply. Rocketfish HDMI. Oh, so you can switch between multiple inputs. Okay, cool. What are you? You're another Rocketfish something. HDMI something or other. Not sure because the label's all messed up and the part that I'm looking at is written in a language that I don't understand for some reason. Oh, here we are. Sends HDMI signals from Blu-ray player to 3D HDV and AV receiver. All right, well, that seems rather particular. Rather specific there. Let's see. Speaker, so we'll just cut the wire off of this. Number 3 insulated and shred. And what are you? Oh, look at that. It's an old cassette player. Man. I wonder if there's a market for this even still. You got your headphones, so you could have 2 headphones plugged in, so that you and your friend could listen at the same time. It records, and there's your volume here, so you can play and you can record. Wow, Haven't seen one of those in a long time. A Walkman Professional. I wonder if there's a, let's see what kind of plug we have. Here we are. All right, DC 6 volts. So somewhere here, there's probably a plug for that. Yeah, one of these is probably a plug, so we'll dig that up. Here's another HDMI splitter. Interesting. The power cord is still connected to that, so I don't want to get that one confused. What do we have here? Looks like some power supply kind of thing. Netgear, so that'll be a nice board in there. Oh, we have a few of those. That's cool. There'll be some nice boards in those. Garage door sensor. Okay. There's a big old transformer here. All right, first of all, there's the little magnetic compass. That's kind of cool. Now, why would there be just a loose transformer down here? Somebody was messing around with something because he's got the ends taped off or set. You know, they've definitely rigged up the ends to connect to whatever it was that they were using this for. But it's just a nice big transformer. And then I've got a whole bunch of plugs here. Probably one of these is for the for what was it that I wanted to oh, for the, not the splitter, there was something else here that I was looking for a plug for. Oh yeah, for the Sony. So I'm guessing one of those is for the Sony. Alright, no big deal. And there's a caddy. So I'm going to put the transformer back in this box and a loose lithium battery. Another one. Daggone it. All right, let's put the transformer back in the box. And I'll figure out what I'm going to do with all this stuff. Let's see. What do we have here? PCIe host card, USB. All right, so that's just going to go with the Goldfinger cards. You can go in there. There we go. Goldfinger card. Just like that. There's another one. We put 4 USBs in there. There's another one with 4 USBs, 4 USB 3 connectors there. Heatsink. And another of those. Come on. There. So this one, just a different connection card. And that's going to be a low-grade board. We'll just cut the wire off of it. Low grade, number 3 insulated, number 2 insulated. Another Goldfinger card. A whole bunch of little screws. It's a bag full of screws. And here we have a wireless 2.4 gigahertz. So that'll go in with the Goldfinger cards after I get the bracket cleaned off. And there's a US Robotics 33.6K PC card modem. Hey, this is kind of interesting. So it's a Goldfinger card, but it's designed for your NVMEs. You can slot the cards in there. That's kind of interesting. I'm going to set that aside. I don't know there might be some value in that. It might be, and there's the heat sinks for them. I gotta think about that one. I don't want to just scrap that one. I'm gonna hang on to that one for a little bit. Here's a Goldfinger card, some sort of graphics card. So we'll take the fan and heatsink off, we'll take the bracket off, and then we'll deaden that all. Well, I don't know, maybe I'll look it up first. I'll look it up. It looks like it's probably not much value there. So we have some little card pieces, and we have a CPU in here. Let's see what we're dealing with. All right, so that's a Goldfinger Wi-Fi card. And here we have some RAM. DIM 1. And some more RAM. What kind of CPU are we dealing with? A Pentium 4. So that's just going to get sold as a pinless, the scrap value for a pinless CPU. And then we have a couple of gold connector ends here. RAM. Goldfinger Wi-Fi. And we have some ENIG, we have some little ICs, some MLCCs, an oscillator. I prefer low grade, I think. And that's probably brass. Yeah, so that little key will be brass. And then these guys, these little screws, we'll just throw them in with our little shred bits. There's some more adapters for different power supplies. There's another, well, I thought you were a Goldfinger card, but maybe you're not. No, you're not. You are a that's where a Goldfinger card would slot in. And then there's screw mounts here, and then there's a USB plug, and that's probably for power. So that's probably some sort of way to adapt a PC. Oh, here we are. PCI-E to 16, 1 to 16. Oh, all right. But as far as the scrap value goes, you might get backplane because of this, but I'm just going to throw in with my low mid grades. And Goldfinger card, probably the cheapest, the lowest. You know what? I'm not even going to do that. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take off the gold fingers, and then I'm going to throw this in with my gold connector ends. That is a more fair thing to do. RAM, 2 GB. So they separate, they cut all this RAM and they were separating it, which is kind of cool, but there isn't a whole lot here. About 4 GB, yeah, that's like minimum to consider. Each one is in its own little baggie. That's very cool and labeled. There's a 1 GB, so that's not got any value. Here's some more 1 GB, no value. I mean, it's got scrap value, but it's not gonna sell. I can look, here's a 4 GB. I can look and see if there's any market for these 4 GB. Probably not. That's like the absolute minimum to even think about anymore. Wow, look at that, 256. Gonna have to get them out of these baggies, but it's very nice that they were labeled. So this one might have some value now. This is an 8 GB DDR4, so there might be some resale value with this one. 2 gig, 2 gig, 2 gig, 2 gig, 2 gig, 2 gig. Somebody was very anal retentive here. 1 gig, 1 gig, 1 gig, and I mean, the way they labeled them, it's 1 gigabyte DDR2 PC2-50C3, and then the manufacturer Micron. I mean, they were very anal retentive with all these, which makes my job a lot easier because I can just look for the 4 and the 8s. Because that's the only thing that would have any kind of legitimate resale value these days. These are all 1s and 512s, and there's a 1 and there's a 512. Now they told me that a lot of the people that I got these from said that they had picked up a bunch of stuff from a guy's garage. And so I'm thinking it was the guy, these are all 2 gigabytes. I'm thinking it was the guy in the garage that was anal retentive about all this. There's a 4. There's another 4. I don't think those 4 gigabytes are going to be worth trying to sell, but we'll see. 2. And so they said that there was a lot of stuff in that garage, and the guy was just he wasn't quite a hoarder, but pretty close to being a hoarder. He definitely was anal retentive with his labeling. Man, holy cow. Went through a lot of plastic bags too. I will keep the plastic bags because I may be able to reuse those. 2. 1, there's a Wi-Fi, Goldfinger Wi-Fi. There's another one. There's a whole bunch of Goldfinger Wi-Fis there. There's some more RAM. 256, 2 gigabyte, 512s. All right, well, you don't want to watch me take stuff out of plastic bags, so we'll just throw the ones that have scrap value are just going back in here, and then I'll dump them out of the bags at some point. And these are the 4s, and there was an 8. I really don't think those 4s are going to have much. Let's see here. Acer DVD, external DVD. No big deal there. Nothing to get too excited about. Thermaltake Universal ATX Power Supply Tester. Oh, isn't that interesting? Huh. I may play around with that, see if that's still functional. And here we have a CD-ROM kit. Looks like somebody took some of the guts out of a PC and chucked it all in one bag here, and not much for me to do with that. DVD RAM. I actually saw a place that still sells DVD RAM. We'll see if there's any market value for that on Marketplace. We have an old Innovage outdoor radio, so you can hand crank this thing to charge up the battery. And let's see. Yeah, you can also plug it in. Cool. We saw something like this in another one of the boxes. It's a Rocketfish LCD plasma TV, Blu-ray. It's a way to connect different display things, apparently. Some nice big old fans. We'll set those aside. There may be some resale value there. Maybe. This looks like another DVD player. USB external DVD drive. Cool. Oh, here's another Walkman. Stereo cassette recorder. So you can record on this one too if you want, or just listen. here's a big one. Sony. Transfer home movies and digital photos to DVD quickly and easily without a PC. Oh, interesting. So you would plug in the card from your device, from your camcorder, and then you could transfer it to a USB. That is cool. Or you could just connect your camera. So you could connect the camera too. Interesting. Isn't that funny? And it's got the power supply for it still. And there's weird. There's a loose heatsink here for some reason. Okay. And a small HP computer. Ugh. So we'll put that on the stack of PCs. What are you? AMD. All right. HP Pavilion Slimline. All right, let's put you over with computers. I don't know what to expect from this, but maybe we'll scrap that out one day just to see what it's made of. Huh, interesting. I suppose I could look and see if there's any potential value on Marketplace for something like this. There's so many places online now that you can get your old home movies professionally recorded that I don't know that there's a lot of value in that. I might keep the external DVD player. I'm definitely going to keep the fans and try to resell those. I'll see if there's any market for the DVDs. We still don't know what in the world this thing is supposed to really do. HDMI in. We've got a couple of outs, so I guess it's just splitting the HDMI signal. Yeah. Yeah, we've got these Walkmans. This power supply tester, I do want to take a look at that, mess around with that a little bit. So there's some stuff here that I might want to keep. There's also a box full of hard drive caddies. So not exactly sure. I mean, if you had the right kind of server, then there might be some value in these, but otherwise, you know, it's shred and a little card, which is, I don't know, probably might be a peripheral, some gold connector ends, some cable. There's a whole box of this stuff that he had. So I'm going to go through. There's a couple more boxes that don't look terribly interesting. There might be some fun in there that could be interesting to scrap out, and if so, then it'll make for some fun videos as we scrap it out. While I'm finishing up going through this stuff, though, why don't you all check out the videos showing up on either side here, and the big round one in the middle, that's to help you to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode of when we get around to scrapping out whatever we find to scrap out. We'll see y'all on the next one. Be safe.